A critical moment for Pauline the Pen Freak, the League of Gentlemen in half an hour on BBC Two. But first, if Dave Gorman's behaviour seems a bit odd, remember, he's being guided by the stars.
In the first half of the 21st century, the world of science needed a guinea pig. That guinea pig was a man. For 40 days and 40 nights, this man has given up his ordinary life. He has scoured the horoscopes from 20 astrologers. His task? To follow their advice, to ignore speculation, prediction and guesswork, but at all times to follow instructions and pursue luck. Is this a wise way to live one's life? That is what we're about to discover. This is the human laboratory. This is Dave Gorman's important astrology experiment.
Hello, my name is Dave Gorman. I'm a Pisces, and welcome to the third part of my important astrology experiment. Throughout the course of our experiment, I have rigorously obeyed my horoscopes. My twin brother, our control experiment, has ignored his. Whose life is the happiest? That's the question we're asking. To answer it, we have to measure happiness. To do this, we have an astrologically balanced jury of juries here, 12 groups of 12 people, each comprising one of each and every star sign. To guide them, we have a panel of 3 experts in the fields of love, health and wealth. A 3-headed Gorgon of guidance to rival any panel ever assembled. Nick, are you ready?
Ready.
Panel, are you ready?
Ready.
Jury of juries, are you ready?
Ready.
Then let the experiment begin. On day 12, astrologer number 14, Michael Thiessen, wrote,
You may be longing to move back to your old hometown. It might be a wise idea to take a short weekend vacation before you make any final moves in that direction.
So, I got into the car and started to drive back to Stafford, my hometown. Now, I was looking out for difficulty on the journey because astrologer number 10, Terry King, has said there could be complications with
methods of transport and even older people.
But Webscopes, astrologer number 18, had also written,
You must be willing to push aside anyone who stands in your way today.
It was pretty clear to me that the world of astrology was telling me to push some old people out of the way. On the motorway, I did find myself stuck behind an elderly couple with a caravan. I tried to ram them off the road, but they got off at Kettering. However, I wanted a banana, and so I stopped at a motorway service station that, for legal reasons, I'm unable to name. And there were some old people in the queue. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this, but the experiment demands that I do this. So you lot just hang back. I'll just... Just that. Racked with guilt, I eventually got to my mother's house. After a long day pushing old people, I was ready to put my head down. But that wasn't what the stars had in store for me, because on the same day, astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, wrote,
You could be the star turn at karaoke, even if it's something you've never considered.
We're going to go to a pub which I haven't been to for, well, since I was about 18, 19. Oh, hold on. Stafford tradition, yeah? Got to give yourself a bit of a fancy walk as you come down here. Reasons for this elude me, but there was a reason. We used to do this when we were kids. There you go. Anyway, this is the... horoscope says you'll be a star turn. Obviously, we're doing something about astrology. I feel stars are the essence. I'm going to put my name down for Starman by David Bowie. David Bowie, Starman. It's a song I listen to at home. It's a song I have sung in the shower. Most importantly, it's a good song. It's a song I'm not embarrassed to say I like. It's a song that, with a bit of drink inside me, I was ready to sing.
Right, OK, next up we've got a brand new singer for us here in the wagon. I'm looking for Dave, and he's going to do a little bit of a trap by Let's Go 7 and Reach. Let's have you now for this one, please, Dave.
But somehow, it wasn't the song I was destined to sing. There's a place waiting just for you. It's a special place where your dreams all come true. Fly away, swim the ocean blue. Drive that open road. Leave the past behind you. Don't stop, gotta keep moving. Your hopes have gotta keep building. Never, ever forget that I've got you and you got me. So reach for the stars. Climb every mountain higher. Reach for the stars. And when the rainbow shines over you, that's when your dreams will all come true. I'd like to think there is a sense of justice about day 12. Pushed old people in the morning, humiliated in my hometown in the evening. I woke up on day 13 to discover that astrologer number 8, Kelly Fox, had written,
Greet a friend with unusual happiness.
and Gordon Vincent, astrologer number 16, had written,
Remember, Pisces, you always have the power to surprise. Use it.
So, I had to greet a friend with unusual happiness, and I had to surprise someone. I did what any man would do. I got myself a box. I got in the box, and I delivered myself to an old friend. This was a very bad time to discover that my old friend had moved house. He hadn't really, I'm kidding. That's actually... that is my old friend, Mark.
Hello, my name's Mark, I'm Dave's friend, and I was surprised when Dave greeted me with unusual happiness.
Oh, yes. Astrology had been obeyed all right. My Saturday in Stafford, catching up with an old friend, was much more relaxing than the day before. But I think the stars were lulling me into a false sense of security. Because on day 14, astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, wrote,
Destiny holds a blue book.
This was Stafford, not Soho. I wasn't sure where to find anything like that. I got a local paper and made a phone call. Hello? Yeah, no, it's about your advert in the paper. Not videos, really. I'm looking for a blue book. Yes, I think you do. Yes, that's the kind of thing. I'd rather come to yours. Or, yeah, no, that's fine. I know it. Yeah, let me just make a note. I'll see you as soon as I can. And your name is not important. OK. I was about to meet a man who would sell me some illegal, hardcore pornography. This had to be done quickly and alone, with the crew stowed away at a safe distance. Yeah. How much is it? 20. All right. Thanks. I think I've got a blue book, but I don't think we should hang around. So what do we know? We know that Mystic Meg has said that my destiny is a blue book. I've got the blue book, but what was I supposed to do with it? My destiny was far from clear that day. I had the feeling someone wasn't telling me all that they knew. However, on the same day, astrologer number 15, Hilary Todd, said,
Your destiny is far from clear today. Someone isn't telling you all that they know. Pick up the phone and sort it out.
should I give Mystic Meg a ring? I studied her column to see if there was anything I'd missed, and then I realised there was. A text messaging service is available that will allow Mystic Meg to send you further instructions. It was obvious she hadn't told me all that she knew, but I was about to pick up the phone to sort it out.
Not that, where's your phone again? Put it down. Always on the phone.
As you can see, it was Sunday lunch at my mother's house. Present for the meal were my mother...
Hello!
my stepfather...
Hello!
one of my 3 nieces...
Hello.
and one of my 3 brothers.
Hello, hello, hello.
He's a policeman. We sat down for a cosy lunch while I waited for Mystic Meg to get back to me.
Thank you, Mum.
Put some rice, carrots and parsnips, as long as they're not mashed together.
Where do you want it?
I've just got a message from Mystic Meg. It's a text message service. It says, I don't know if you can see this, take a closer look at B. It could be love. You so wise today. You so wise today? So she's telling me to take a closer look at B. Now, you can't take a closer look at something unless you've already had a look at it. So B had to be something I'd already taken a look at. Did the astrologer, who had already instructed me to buy a blue book, want me to take a closer look at an object beginning with B? I did what I was told. I took a closer look. It's all right, it's fine. Oh, crying out loud.
Sunday lunchtime? What are you doing?
She didn't have a clue what I was doing. Me so wise. Well, let's see how our control experiment was doing. Nick, days 12, 13 and 14, what were you up to?
Yeah, these were all rest days, so I was looking after the kids a lot of the time. I went for a run on day 12, went in the gym on day 13, and on day 14, we went for a pub lunch to celebrate Tracy's mum's 65th birthday.
OK, lovely. Let's see what the panel think. Remember, we are using the metric pleasure decimal gladness system. 1 unit of happiness is equivalent to £1 sterling. That's about 1.7 euros. I can't say I'm expecting many kind words from our experts, but we need their guidance for the jury. Our expert in love is Denise Robertson. Denise, love and friendship, what advice have you got?
You're asking me to comment on love. Well, have I missed something? Where was it? Your brother, the control in this experiment, is living in connubial bliss. He's looking after his kids. What are you doing? Leaping out of cardboard boxes, handbagging pensioners, and I don't even want to go to the blue book.
Please
Now,
don't.
You give me a smidgen of love, and I'll comment till we both go blue in the face.
You don't have to take the advice of the panel if you don't wish to. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up your keypads, please. Cast your love votes now. Better vote for me before you vote for Nick. While the computer's working away on that one, we can find out what our health expert, Dr. Hilary Jones, thinks about the way things are going. Hilary.
Well, Dave, your brother Nick is enjoying a really healthy lifestyle, regular exercise, happy family life. On the other hand, astrology is forcing you to do things that you would not normally do. You felt humiliated, you felt guilty and dirty, stressful. You're doing things you wouldn't normally do, including drinking too much and passive smoking in the pub.
OK, well, I'm doing it for science. Please, cast your health votes now. let's check in with our financial expert, Alvin Hall. Of course, the financial side of things is not a matter of opinion, it is a matter of fact. Alvin, what are the facts?
The fact is your brother spent £11 on a drink at the pub, celebrating his mother-in-law's 65th birthday. That seems a bit cheap. You spent £87 for a descent into smut.
Well, like I say, I didn't choose it. I know this is going to hurt, but let's see how the figures stack up. These are your votes.
Love plus health plus wealth equals happiness.
Ooh. That hurts. Minus 109 for love. Nick has 142 for love, I'm minus 38 for health, Nick is 105. And as we've just heard from Alvin, I'm down 87 for wealth and Nick is down only 11. It makes a huge difference. Over these 3 days, I am minus 234 happy. But if I'd ignored my horoscopes, I would have been a whopping 236 happy. So, follow my horoscopes has actually made me 470 points less happy than I would have been. Let's see how that affects the graph. Ooh, stop it, go, stop! Buggers. These are desperate times. I am clearly embedded in the triangle of gloom. Minus 723 happy. Do you know, it's only now that I can see the numbers that I know how unhappy I was that day. It's not looking good for the world of astrology. To be honest, I knew I wouldn't be scoring very highly for love. After 14 days of the experiment, I'd barely seen my girlfriend. But things were about to look up romantically. Because on day 15, astrologer number 5, Dajuana Bird, wrote...
Set aside some time today to tell your loved one how much they are appreciated.
She went on to suggest that we plan a shared activity, and I quote...
Like photography or antique hunting.
After 14 days, that wasn't exactly the shared activity I had in mind. But there you go. I got on the phone to Greta. I told her how much she was appreciated. I told her about my new instructions. I was still in Stafford. She was in London. We met in neither. Why? Because astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, had written...
Luck takes you to a place with a royal name.
Now, the royalness of that place name might not be immediately obvious to all of you. If you look closely, you can see that it contains the word Ming. And of course, as we all know, from 1368 to 1644, the Ming dynasty ruled China. You can't get much more royal than that. Or can you? All of a sudden, things were not going quite so well. That is not a happy face. That is the face of a man who has just seen how expensive an antique chair can be. £850. That is ridiculous. You can get a new one for less than that. Now you understand that unhappy face. I wasn't in the best of moods with life, and Greta wasn't in the best of moods with me and my experiment. So on day 16, 2 of my horoscopes made me nervous. Astrologer number 4, Annabel Burton, wrote...
It's time to paint your bedroom.
And astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, wrote...
A TV show is involved.
I had no choice. I put in a call to changing rooms. Their production secretary was fantastic. She really was. Bless her, I can't believe she did this. I explained my predicament, and she promised me that she'd send one of the designers round to help. We've all got our favourites. I was hoping for Linda Barker. I was dreading Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Hello.
This was sure to be a result, only there was one restriction. A restriction placed on me by astrologer number 16, Gordon Vincent.
Fawn and cherry red will be your colours of good fortune.
Bright red wall there. Fawn is open to suggested stripes, masking tape, paint pads are my favourite.
Aside from the fact that she's drawing on my walls, I can't say I really understand a word she's saying. Interior design isn't really me. However, research has shown that putting interior design into a programme can lead to a significant increase in audience figures. The same research shows that this tactic is especially successful if it is accompanied by a sultry saxophone soundtrack with a walking bass line, maybe a Hammond organ, and of course, a few finger clicks.
Red is good, it's a passionate colour, it's great for events. Leave on here to rectangle that I'm just going to round the corners off, fawn outline. You're going to really open up the space. Be in touch with your feminine side.
Cherry red, fawn. No, I was going to just go to a shop and take a some cherry red and fawn.
It's going to be critical, is that?
Okay.
You certainly don't want to go like that. Hang on. That's kind of nice. Even these little wheels, you know, that might be your kind of fawn.
That red and fawn. Masking tape, paint pads.
It's £45.30 altogether then, please.
Here goes. If she likes it, I'm not going to tell her about Linda Barker. If she hates it, I'm going to blame that bitch off the telly. Okay. Been working very hard all day.
I don't really like it.
It was that bitch Linda Barker.
The stars were not doing me any favours. Now, on day 17, astrologer 16, Gordon Vincent, wrote...
You're thinking too hard at the moment. Stop exercising your mind for a while. Exercise your body instead.
But there were further instructions. Dajuana Bird wrote...
Bring along your elder relative to the big game, or out for some fun at the bingo parlour.
There was only one relative to fit that description, my great-auntie Peg. To visit her, I had to drive all the way back to Stafford, but that was OK, because at the end of the journey, I knew there was an exciting game of bingo.
Six oh 60. 5 and 9 59. 5 and 1 51. 2 and 5 25. 5 by 7 5. 9 by 7 9. 3 and 7 37. 2 and 1 21. 77 and 7.
Line.
Any more clowns?
Yes!
Carry on for your 2 lines.
£1.50. That's 1.5 points, Alvin. I want that in the books. Oh, yes. For the first time in a while, things were starting to look up. So on day 18, I was happy to read that astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, had given me something a little less challenging to do.
Luck shares a pizza.
And Russell Grant, number 9, had written...
Wear something that makes you feel sensuous, seductive and irresistible. Black is fab for you, as it'll show off all your assets.
Easy. In my head, I'm thinking a kind of milk tray advert with pizza. But then our sound man, Nathan, pointed out that a roll-neck jumper was hardly showing off my assets. And he was right. I was cheating. Cheating myself and cheating science. I asked Nathan what outfit he thought it was describing. He said rubber. I didn't like his answer, so I asked a couple of other people. They said rubber. So I got myself an outfit. And then I got myself a pizza. And then I tried to share it. I think maybe it's time to check in with our control experiment instead. Nick, how did you do on days 15 to 18?
On day 15, Mum come round to babysit, so we went for a night out and a couple of drinks. I went running for 3 out of the 4 days.
OK, well, I suspect I'm going to get slaughtered here, but it has to be done. Denise, how are we doing in love and friendship?
Well, when Greta first came on the scene, I was so relieved I had visions of leaping over this desk and kissing you on both cheeks. But then you sat her down on what appeared to be a commode, as far as I could see. And when you got into the bedroom and you talked passion, it was with another woman. However, Greta's gorgeous, you were kind to your aunt, and you look lovely in rubbers.
I'm delighted to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, please, cast your love votes now. OK, now, Hilary, how are we doing health-wise?
Right, well, I think Nick is at peace with himself, and that's great. You went to the gym, but I think moderate exercise is probably better than the vigorous exercise you were obviously doing. Rubber, full-body rubber is dehydrating. Pizza is full of fat. You're a lovely bloke. I'm just glad you're not one of my patients, Dave.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, please cast your health votes now. OK, and now the moment I've been dreading most of all.
Oh, yeah.
The financial side of things. Alvin,
yeah.
Give me the bad news.
The bad news is horrific. You may want to put back on that rubber suit you had. 1,108 pounds down. 850 pounds on a broken chair. Leather. You must be insane. Where your moderate brother there spent 25 pounds.
OK, let's see how this adds up. These are your votes.
Love plus health plus wealth equals happiness.
You're not as cheerful about love as Denise. There you go. I have a negative score of 1,065. Mainly on an antique chair. However, if I'd been ignoring my horoscopes, I would have scored a perfectly respectable 183, which means that following my horoscope has actually cost me 1,248 happiness points. I'm not sure we actually have a graph that can cope with this kind of range. Let's have a look. Ah! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Oh! Stop! I'm so far into the triangle of gloom, I can't even see the triangle of delight anymore. What am I at? That's minus 1,971. I think that is probably the worst figures I've ever seen on my graph or anyone else's. It seems impossible to imagine this situation ever being recovered. But we are only 18 days in, and it is a 40-day experiment. You can join me for part 4 of my important astrology experiment next week. Good night.
Your priorities are not good.
They say the bridge between genius and insanity is easily crossed. You may have crossed that bridge.
They do colonic irrigation.
I think that's astrology's way of saying that you're full of